So basically, as I mentioned earlier, we've been working on advocating that as the government turns from the crisis towards economic recovery, that they can also tackle their climate commitments and their mandates as well. And so we feel energy efficiency is the sweet spot that can do both. We can use it to help put people back to work, and we can use it to drive our climate commitments. So three things we've been advocating for. Number one is we think there are kind of immediate stimulus, quote unquote, shovel ready programs that can be scaled up immediately. And those are the ones on the ground in every province in Canada, driven by program administrators and utilities. So there are already existing agreements in some provinces between the federal government and those provinces to deliver these programs. So number one, let's beef those up immediately. Let's hire a whole bunch of people in every single province and just keep going and leave it up to the province on the areas that they want to focus on. So that's number one, and that's immediate stimulus. Number two is, if we just focus on stimulus, the worry is of a boom and bust. And this happened in 2008, 2009, when during the last recession in the US, they did a lot of stimulus through the ERA program and everything went bonkers. Everyone went crazy. And then when the money ran out, everything came crashing down. So we're very conscious of that. So our second recommendation is we need to think about longer term recovery, and we need to start to invest significantly in driving more activity. And the ways to do that is these kind of quote unquote green banks or strategic energy efficiency financing programs that provide an opportunity to aggregate, find new projects, aggregate them, and then the federal government could invest in them directly. Then the beauty of that is they can take those investments and attract the private sector. And until we get private sector money into this in a big way, big is the key word there. There's never going to be enough money in the system from governments or utilities to get to the scale we need. So we think that the federal government has an opportunity through the Canada Infrastructure Bank to set aside funds specifically to invest in retrofits, and then over time use those case studies to attract private sector capital. So number one is beef it up, our existing programs. Number two is create a new financing mechanism in the billions to attract money and to drive more activity. And then the third one is, and both one and two are dependent on this, is workforce development and making sure that we are bringing in enough people into the sector to do the work, and that we have the right training mechanisms. We have the right opportunities for people who may be sunsetting from other industries and looking for kind of a safer haven to land, and figuring out the pathways for them to get the training they need to be that workforce. We have a great workforce now in Canada on energy efficiency. There's over 436,000 people who work in this sector. But if we're going to be tripling the retrofit rates, which is what we need to do every single year, then we're going to need a lot more people. And so I think creating that pipeline of activity, of training and of workforce development is going to be key.